So if you really want to get into design, just know your true passion, know your area, know where your strength is, and know that you really, really want to do it. Design is going to be subjective. There is no right and there is no wrong. And you have to know that balance. So for you to strike that balance, you have to know where your strength is. And once you find it, just go for it. We had this competition in grade 8.
Okay.
Right. They were like, draw the calamities, the natural disasters of Earth in one picture.
Okay.
Right? So I just thought about it. And I'm like, okay, what are the natural calamities we have? We have the earthquake, we have tsunami, we have a hurricane, we have, thunder, lightning and all of that. I was like, what if you put all of them together? So what I did was...
They're so evil.
No, so you have to think of like some way to like sort of connect all of them together, right?
Okay.
So what I did was, I drew like an earthquake, like the earth parting, and then like water coming out, and then from top there were like, clouds, and then lightning, and then somewhere like on the rocks, fire. So,
Okay.
yeah, so not a lot of students actually drew it like that. So when I handed it to my art teacher, she just looked at me and she was like, where did you find this from? I was like, I don't know, I just drew it. So then from that moment onwards, I think
This was in grade 8?
This was in grade 8.
Okay.
Yes. So from that moment onwards, I think I understood, okay, I see things a bit differently. And I am more into sort of trying to figure out how to fit in things in terms of art, design, and whatnot. Then I try to pursue in that direction. So that is when I built up my skills, like drawing skills. That is when I started drawing. And then I think my parents picked up on it, and then they sent me out to art classes. And
so your parents were supportive?
Yeah, they were supportive. They were quite supportive, and my mother, I think I used to like scribble all the time at home. And then she was like, why don't you just go for an art class? And I did, which is where I developed more skills. And I found out that I have a talent for oil painting as well. Tada! Okay. I didn't even know that. So I was like, okay, all right, let's do this. So, it just came naturally. I found something really soothing in the way shades came together. Like how you do with different, like when you do, what do you call shading, you do with multiple objects. You do it with charcoal sticks, you do it with shading pencils, and then you do it with lead pencils. So I liked experimenting with them. Okay. Like I found out that I have a passion for experimenting and to see how it all blended in. So then when you blend it all in, you get beautiful different results. So I think I developed my passion for art from there. And then I started drawing like landscapes. My forte is not to do portrait, but landscapes.
Okay, but I saw you have done some portraits also.
Yeah, those were just like experimental. Okay. I wasn't really comfortable in doing portraits. I was more comfortable in doing a lot of landscapes and objects, still objects, and you see like a beautiful, picture of a sea or river or, something like that. I found it really soothing to just shade in the waves and the flow of the river and the trees. And in the end, I really loved the end result. I really did. And I find something absolutely beautiful in black and white art. I did this in 2009, just before I quit my art class. This took me the longest to do. It was done with a charcoal pencil and a lead pencil. And I also used 5B pencil. Wow, I can actually remember the detailing. It took me around, say, 5-6 days to finish this, and the result, I was really proud of it. Seasons of Friendship. Let me tell you about this book. So it's a very special book that my grandmother gave. It's by a lady called Marjolaine Baston. This book is really special to me, and I will tell you why. So basically, this book is all about this lady. I mean, from the time she was born to the time she was growing up, and she fell in love and had kids and la-di-da-di-da, the whole works, right? And the thing is, it's all beautifully illustrated, right? Well, not these parts, but look at that. I will get to the point where, there we go. So she has illustrated her life story. I mean, in the forms of photographs and little drawings, and she has laid it out perfectly. Like, and in spite of just laying down her story life, she has also brought in like little elements of what she has collected when she has gone to the beach, like little shells, and things about like gifts. Like, this is a little book of treasure. The information she has laid out, it's laid out a bit haphazardly, but everything sort of, falls into place. Everything like sort of connects. And that is why I think this book is really special. Yes, I collect stationery as well. So anything that looks beautiful and nice, I collect. I basically love stationery, like, books and everything. It's a hobby of mine, I guess. Basically, I used to collect like greeting cards, Christmas cards, birthday cards, anything that looks nice. And this was when I was like just 8 or 9 years old. Right? I mean, I didn't know why I collected them, because they were so beautiful, and not just anything, but the ones that were really nicely designed, right? I just collected it and I kept it like stashed away, because I didn't know I would be needing this later on in the future. I mean, I was just 8 or 9 years old, right? So these are little indications that I sort of found out, like, oh wow, okay, I am interested in these little details. I would like to know how it comes to life, most of these pieces of art. So I guess that's how I, found my little way, my little path.
So where do you get your inspiration for all your designs?
Okay, so I do a lot of research. I do a lot of reading as well. So research digitally in terms of going on Pinterest and going on this website called Ads of the World. So,
Ads of the World.
Ads of the World, yeah. So basically, Ads of the World is like a website where different ad agencies from all around the world, they upload their campaigns to this website. So be it videos or print ads or whatever, like, it's amazing. Some of the work is like mind-blowing, right?
And you can't Google these things.
You can, I mean, you can, but this is like a bank. This is like a bank of creativity, like in one place, right? So you get inspiration from like all these brilliant campaigns that they have done, right? But you have to like obviously go through each and everything, but you tend to come across like, some of the brilliant campaigns. Also, apart from going online, I do talk to people who I work with, like my creative colleagues, because the thing is, I have worked with a lot of senior colleagues, and they have a lot of ideas, a lot of wisdom. The thing is, when you work on something, you tend to bounce out ideas, from of another person. So that is also my other source of inspiration, because the thing is, like, they will think about something totally differently from how you think, but different perspectives, different reasoning, like, so those are all my, points of inspiration. And also, if you're like, if you're having a design block, if you're stuck for ideas, what's the first thing that you would do? I mean, you would obviously get up from that place, right? Because the thing is, staying in one place, it's very constrictive. So you tend to go out. You tend to go to, like, say, the nearest shop around the corner, or the beach, or like just walk around the road. Because the thing is, you don't know who you will come across, what you will come across, right? It's always a very good idea just to get out, clear your head, because you will gain things, you will look at things in different perspectives. So anywhere, anytime. That is where I gain my inspiration, because there is no set place.
How is it? So, what about your studies? Is a degree important to be a designer?
See, a degree is just a mere qualification, right? It helps you, of course, to get into jobs. But a degree does not define you as a designer. Because the thing is, in our field, we have to show our work. We have to show our talent. We have to show what we are capable of. Just showing a paper qualification is not enough. And so in order for you to showcase your talent, you have to have a lot of experience. You have to have your portfolio. You have to prove to them as to why they should hire you. What are your qualities? What have you done? What are you capable of, basically, And yeah.
So a degree is important just to get to a job?
I guess so, yeah. When you're applying for jobs, yes, you can. It's good to say, like, yes, you have a degree in design, right? That sort of makes your chances higher. But at the same time, what if there is a person who hasn't got a degree, who is self-taught, and who is way better than you, and who actually has that natural talent? I'm not going to say just because you have a degree you don't have a talent. No, not like that. But say someone who is who didn't get a chance to go and get this fancy, paper qualification. What about him? See, I have met people who have had degrees and who haven't, and who are still in the industry, and people who haven't got a degree who are making it big in the industry as well. At the end of the day, it depends on your talent and your creativity and what you can bring to the table, at your own firm. Because design is pretty subjective, right? It's not going to be like an accountant's job, 2 + 2 = 4. It's neither wrong, it's neither right? So you have to prove to them as to why they should choose you, despite the fact that there is no right or wrong. And that is a challenge. In the field of design, right? Regardless of whether you have a degree or not, right?
So what is it like in the industry?
It's tough. It's tough. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, especially when you start out. In my point before, I said yes, design degree is important for you to get a job and all. How about the stuff that you learned, like when you wanted to get a degree, like throughout your uni years and stuff, right? They only teach you the basics. See, it's all like rushed courses. You do photography, you do, you do book layouts, you do this, you do that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to like real industry experience, all of the basics that you have learned is not going to be enough per se. Because you learn much more when you're working, right? You learn way more than that you think you're capable of. The industry, when you get into a company, when you actually start working, they're going to push you to your limit, right? And see what you can exactly bring to the table and what you can't. I learned from so many senior people. I learned from creative directors, associate creative directors. Like, they had so much of knowledge that they gave me, like with regards to design, with regards to life in general. Like, that's what actually makes you grow. Not just this restricted paper qualification. So it's a whole other different ball game when you actually work in your field. And you have to prove to them, and you have to be consistent, and you have to have that passion to actually prove to them, yes, I am worth it, and I can make a difference, and I can communicate what you want me to. So yeah.
Did you have any ups and downs in your work experience?
Yes, I did. So the thing is, I started out as an intern at an ad agency, and like I said, I just learned the basics in uni. So I wasn't really happy with myself at what I brought to the table, and I didn't really, deliver what was expected of me. But that didn't stop me. I was resilient. I kept on pushing myself. I spoke to people. I went and researched a lot on Pinterest and ads of the world. I wanted to better myself. I needed to know that I was capable of this. I knew I was capable of this, but the thing is, you have to learn. You have to start somewhere, right? I mean, yes, you have the knowledge, but then again, you have to know how to utilize, your knowledge and your creativity all put together and bring out something really good, to design something really good. And that takes time. Building your skills, it really takes time. I love doing print ads, photo editing, and doing books and stuff, designing books and stuff in InDesign. So I don't know the software inside out, and I don't think I will ever know because it just keeps updating as well. So it's a learning curve every step of the way. And you have to give yourself time, and you have to be very patient with yourself. That is number one. You cannot get frustrated and say, no, I can't do this, and just walk off. How else are you going to succeed in life, right? If you're going to give up at every roadblock, right? You have to take the roadblock as you have to take it as a learning curve. I know it's a cliche. I know when people shout at you, you get demotivated, or when people say that's not good enough. And yes, I did get demotivated. I was wow, what am I doing? But at the same time, I had that drive in me. And I knew I could do it at some point. I didn't know when, but I knew at some point I could. So I kept on going at it. It requires hell of a lot of time spent, researching about what you really want to do, what you can do, how you want to do it. Also take constructive criticism as, positive comments. Because at the end of the day, if you do have a really good leader, what she's going to do is push you and nurture you, right? And all you have to do is take the good out of all of that.
Tell me about the best and the worst moments in your career.
Okay, so I will start with the worst. So this was the canvas I was doing. Mind you, it was a really big canvas. It was going to be printed and mounted, I think on a wall somewhere. I can't remember exactly where though, but so I can remember drawing each and everything out, right? So I was working with symbolism. I love bringing in symbolism into my designs. So it was quite detailed, and mind you, it was really, really big. I think 15 feet or so of a width. My ultimate thing was to draw out everything, and then illustrate it in Illustrator. So obviously this will take time. I took about 2 days, and I was about to finish it off, drawing, when my boss came and said, hey, you know what, just chuck it out. We can just find something and just, just release the artwork. And I was heartbroken. I was gutted. You put your heart and soul into something, right? And when someone says nah, stop it, do this. Which person, tell me which person who does not get demotivated? What you have to do is you have to just grin and bear. Yes, you can fight. Yes, you can talk back and say, no, I need to continue this, but there are moments where you just have to grin and bear and continue. So I took the design home. And I kept it because one of these days I am going to finish it, and I'm going to illustrate it and make it one of my own designs. So I just did a generic design and I just gave it away. And I think after that, I was like questioning myself, like, what am I doing? Is this really what I want to do? I mean, I can't even do what I like, and this and that and all. But see, these are bumps, you know. I mean, what if I gave up at that point? I wouldn't be where I am, you know, today. I'm really glad that I didn't give up, because the greatest rewarding thing was when she recognized me as a designer, because I was given the freedom to work with a brand rather, to do print ads, to do digital, you know, all of that, and for the first time actually, and I was so happy, like a whole brand to myself. And I was given the design freedom, like I was taken for photography, like photo shoots, and I was so happy. So the day that happened, and the day she trusted me with a brand, like I knew it, like wow. And this was someone who was really hard to please, and she did nurture me. She did help me out quite a lot, and I learned a lot from her. And the experience I gained, I use it today. So I kept pushing it. I kept going at it, and I finally, so that giving me that brand to manage on my own was the end result, the reward. I was pretty happy, and I'm like, wow, okay. And so yeah, and then I kept going. And then I kept going at it.
So what do you think about the design industry in Sri Lanka?
The design industry in Sri Lanka, as a designer, like I feel very underrated and undervalued, because the thing is, designers are not taken that seriously here. Like design as a profession is not taken seriously in Sri Lanka, as opposed to countries like New Zealand, England, you know, US or whatever. Simply because all the other jobs, like you know, lawyers and doctors and engineers, they are given more importance. The arts is rising in Sri Lanka, as in terms of like theater and whatnot. Like it's coming up slowly. So in time, I hope designers get the recognition, you know, that they need, because we have a lot of talented people in this country in abundance, like from say fashion design to interior to graphics, right? These people need a platform to speak out of. And I think right now they are raising their voice, they are bringing stuff to the table, and people are starting to notice them. Like for example, in the fashion industry, like brands like Mouse, like Fashion Market, like these are all homegrown brands, right? And talented individuals who bring out unique designs to the table. So in terms of fashion, yes, we are there. But in terms of graphics, I do hope one fine day we do get, like, you know, recognized, the most talented individuals, actually. So, yeah. And step outside of your comfort zone. I know it's a cliche that's being said so many times, but it is the truth. Because the thing is, the moment you step out and the moment you go and research and you explore, and you see where you stand, it is rewarding. And you develop more skills, and you can create things out of the ordinary. Like you can be that unique person who created like these amazing designs, who say you even travel the world, you know, to explore, to inspire people. So for all this to happen, you really, really need to find that passion point. And you need to go for it. Like no hesitation, no nothing. Just dive straight into it. That's all. Wait. Make sure you're recording this, huh?
It's not everything right.
Did you press record?
Yeah, everything is good.
Uh-huh.
The camera is on.
And I'm upside down, I'm upside down.